Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Focus on Game podcast, episode 110. I'm Martin.
Hello, Duncan.
Hello.
Evening.
Evening. Tom's gone. I'm back in.
Yep. Swap one out for the other. I don't think anybody's ever seen you in the same room, so
no, could be the same person.
So,
yeah,
gaming. Yay! Last week we had the interview with Grant Sinclair, which we will be reviewing his gamer cards soon. Hopefully, we believe we're getting a review unit, so that'll be nice. But yeah, it showed us on the video. Wasn't on our video. It was looks quite good. Something you can slip in the back pocket and take with you wherever you want. So yeah. Anyway, in terms of gaming, now I have been playing quite a few games this week. Last week, obviously, we didn't talk about what we've been playing, but mostly I'd been playing Dragon Age, Veilguard still, but I'd already talked about that. And I thought, I'm not going to be playing much now. I'm just going to be playing that for a while because I'm still playing through it. I dread to think how many hours. I think I might have put about 45 hours into it so far, maybe 50. But then a game popped up on Game Pass, and I completely incorrectly presumed that it was similar to another game of the same name-ish or similar name. And it's Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Now, have you played Deep Rock Galactic?
I have very briefly. Yeah, yes. This is when you're in when you do mining, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's a third person, like roguelite, where you go to an area and you mine loads of materials, and then you get back to where you started and extract, and then you extract stuff to materials and whatnot. Now, I didn't realise, but Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is a completely different style of game, although has the core of Deep Rock Galactic. So it's basically Vampire Survivors. So it's an overhead, well, sort of slightly overhead, 45 degrees angled. Like Vampire Survivors. I want to say clone, but it isn't because it adds to it. It's got full 3D graphics, unlike Vampire Survivors. And if people haven't played Vampire Survivors, then basically you don't do anything except for you automatically shoot, or your weapons automatically hit or whatever, and you just move around. And gradually, as you get through the level of wherever you are, the more and stronger enemies appear. And you have to keep going in Vampire Survivors, until you defeat the devil or whatever it is. But with Deep Rock Galactic Survivors, you have I want to say a smallish map, and you have to kill a certain amount of enemies or something like that, and then an elite enemy appears, and then you defeat the elite enemies. Then you have to get back to the mining pod that you came in and escape. But the big difference with Deep Rock Galactic Survivors compared to because it looks like a modern, very good, pretty game, but you can mine the rocks that are in the game as you're running around, so you can make exits or so you can sort of tactically guide all your enemies. And later on in the game, that's very helpful. So it is sort of tactical, but equally you can mine regular rocks, or you can find ones that help for upgrades between levels, or upgrades when you between at full games. And there's 5 sort of mini levels for each drop that you have, and once you defeat those 5 levels, you get a big boss at the end, and then you do it all again in different worlds. And it's just fantastic. You know me, I don't particularly like roguelite kind of games. You're Hades or those kind of things. I mean, they're all right, and I can see why people like them. Just generally, I'm not somebody who wants to play something 1,000 times, but it has that similar dopamine hit of Vampire Survivors that just you unlock that little bit more, and so you get a little bit further, and then that enemy that you thought was really hard suddenly is really easy. But then another enemy that's really hard appears, or you turn up the difficulty, and it's just that little bit of difficulty every single time. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, completely took me by surprise because I thought it was just like one of these sort of DLC or standalone DLC games, and it was just going to be more Deep Rock Galactic, which was one of these it's good with friends games. Whereas this, absolutely brilliant, and I turned it on for my son, and he's now addicted. Although I went out for the day yesterday, and I came back and he went, "Oh, Daddy, I accidentally played on yours." I'm like, "What?" And he's unlocked loads of stuff. I'm like, that's the best part of the game. It's unlocking stuff. So I was a bit annoyed with that. But there is still lots more to unlock and high scores to get and all this kind of thing. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. It's on Game Pass now. It was on early access, so I presume that it's out of early access now for a while. I think about a year. So yeah, fantastic game on Game Pass now and available on other platforms as well. So yeah, really pleased with that. Still haven't played any more Silksong, so because no, not for me. But have you played any?
I have. Yeah, I haven't done much gaming, just because my time at the moment is been. Well, I'm just busier than I have been with a new job essentially, and having to commute.
You've had a good sample.
But yeah, so yesterday I went on it for a couple of hours. So
you lasted longer than me then.
Yeah, I was like, I think it's quite similar to the previous games in terms of like the gameplay and the combat. I haven't played the previous games for quite a while, so I'm like playing this game like I've never played one of those games before, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm just exploring at the moment. It's not like this is the big main story, and I'm getting here and I'm doing this. I'm doing quests. I'm just like, okay, I haven't been here, so I'll go here, and then I end up back to where I was. So I'm like, okay, I'll go back, or I'll die and it'll put me back somewhere, and I'm like, I'm like miles away from where I was, and then I'll sort of go and then think, okay, and then I'm thinking in my head, okay, I'm going this way, but there's a different way I could have gone, so I remember that. So when I'm back here, I'll go that way. I got the maps and the compass now, which I only recently sort of got. Obviously, that helps with knowing sort of where.
I can imagine having a map helps a lot. Yes.
Yeah, because initially you need the compass as well, because the compass sort of then puts stuff on the map for you. Whereas when you just have a map, it's just like it just sort of blank really, whereas the compass is there, and then you can sort of figure out
where there's like rest areas and things like that.
I think so. Yeah. I've only just got the compass, so I'm not.
I'd say it's a side platformer, so I can imagine the compass wouldn't show you the directions because up is up and down is down and left is left and right.
No, right. It just puts stuff on the map essentially. Yeah, but it's not there saying. Yeah, this is you go east or west or whatever, but yeah, I mean
that would be great if it did have something that said no, go this way. See this exit and go this way. Jump here. That's it. Jump on there. And if it had that, I'd probably play a bit more. But the fact that it is a sort of here's a world, have at it. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, I don't mind the exploration, but I think it could do with a little bit of that. I think like a lot of people probably it's why they like the game is here you do what you want and you'll find your own way. But I wouldn't mind a bit of like because my time to say you can do some exploring, but if you want to do the main story, here's a dot on the map. You can like go to that point if you want to, and you'll fight a boss or something. But whereas, at the moment, I've fought one boss, which was right at the beginning, and I haven't fought any bosses since that point, and I wouldn't have a clue how far I am in the game. Like, I wouldn't know, like, I'm coming near the end.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty big.
Okay, so I'm probably very far away.
Yeah, so. I've seen a map, I think, and yeah, it looked pretty big. As in, like, it's not something that you could pop around in a couple of minutes, kind of thing. Yeah, I'm just looking at a map now. Wow. Okay. Yep. That's pretty big. To get from one side to the other would probably take you a long time.
And there's certain areas that I just can't get to at the moment because it's too high up. So I'm assuming at some point I'm going to be able to jump higher or something. So that's going to
climb walls, kind of thing.
Or climb walls, yeah. So that'll open up areas. But yeah, I mean, the game, I'm enjoying it when I am playing it. It's quite difficult. Not the actual like standard enemies. There's some that can be a bit tricky if they're in certain places and you haven't got much platform space to like fight them. Whereas if you've got plenty of platform space, you can just like jump over and hit them. Like the flying one's gonna be a bit tricky if you're on a very small flat platform because you can't really get away from them. But they're not that bad. The one boss I fought probably took me about 2 goes, so that wasn't overly hard. When you think that if you're playing like a From Software game, it would take you over like 100 times to beat a boss. But that was the first one, and it was like very at the start of the game, so I imagine it was more, getting you into the game. So I imagine the bosses going further will be, because on the previous ones, I fought some really difficult bosses, which just take me. Take me like I'd have to try over and over again to do it. But I haven't had any like that yet, so I'm expecting at some point I'll run into.
Well, see, one thing that annoyed me when I even tried to play the game, because you start in, you like fall down a ravine or something, don't you? Just at literally the start of the game, and you have to work your way back up. And so I worked my way back up, and there's the old lady or thing or whatever she is that sort of says welcome, and you carry on along from there. And I was like, oh, excellent. And I got to a gap, and I thought, do I jump over this gap, or do I see what's below in the gap? I thought, I don't want to miss out on something, so I'll see what's below the gap.
You went back to the beginning.
So I went back to the bloody beginning.
Yeah, I did that.
And I couldn't get back out without going through the whole bit that I've just done. And I'm like, no!
Well, it took me a good 20 minutes to realise there was an extra bit, because I kept going back down there thinking there must be like more down here that I haven't like found. So I kept like going, and I just kept coming back out on like the town place. And I was like, okay, like and to the point where I was like, I don't really know what I'm meant to do here. And then I carried on walking,
round and round in circle.
And then I realised there was this whole extra bit, and I was like, oh, now I feel a bit stupid because, So
I guessed I had to jump over, or I had to explore in this hole, and I was like, I can't quite tell because there isn't a map at that point. I knew there wasn't a map accessible. I was like, am I missing something, or have I just not got it? Obviously, you tell me now I haven't got it. So I was like, don't I? I was like, well, I can't miss out on something in case I miss something important. And then it just takes you back to the beginning, which means you've then got to do the 5-10 minutes or whatever to get back to the top.
And all the enemies are back as well at that point. So
and those ones are easy.
Yeah, but still, it's like
at least you've got to stick to defeat them easily now. Is it stick or what? Or sword?
You have a spear, don't you? I got a spear now, where I can throw stuff at them. But then that takes up your whatever it is, where you can use that to bring back your life. So if you use your spear, sorry, you then sort of. So I'm finding that I'll have like one life bar left, and I'll be like, oh, I can use my spear, but then I won't be able to get my. So I'm like, I need my life, so I haven't really been using my spear that often. But yeah, I mean, I know it's roguelike games, and that's the point of it. If you die or whatever, then you go back and you have to do it again. But it does get frustrating. So maybe I'm like not the biggest fan of roguelike games. I'm finding that out because I like the game, but I don't like. Oh, I got to do all that again. Like when I realise.
Is because roguelike's more like the ones where you upgrade slightly and then you get a bit further because you upgrade.
Well, no. Well, I don't know what you would call it, but when you die and then you come back and then
yeah.
And then all the enemies are back, and you're like, oh, I'm like absolutely miles away of where I was, and I got to go through all that again to get to like an next point.
Yeah. But that was the thing. I did that thing where I had to go back to the beginning and then back round, and I was like, okay, I'll jump over that. Carried on, and then I died, and I went all the way back to her. I'm like, why couldn't you just put me back like one screen or something?
Yeah.
Why put me back all that way when I've got to go all the way that I've gone now? It's like,
I think we've just been treated to modern games where you die and you just come back straight where you were, and you're like, right. Whereas back in the, when we were playing games back in the 90s or whatever, especially like Crash Bandicoots or whatever, when you're all Sonics, where you would have a checkpoint and you would get really Donkey Kong Country was always a good example, because if you didn't play it on the Wii U, where you could do like what do you call it, where you can like where you can save it at a certain point, whereas obviously in the original game you didn't do that, and you would get really nervous when you know that you were really far past the checkpoint, because you go, thinking, if I die now, I don't have the heart or the will to go back and do all of this again. So when you got to a checkpoint, it actually felt. So yeah, now I think because of maybe that trauma of those games, now when it happens on a modern game, I'm like, oh god, like I can't do all that again. I just want to just go back and where I was immediately and fight that boss again, exactly in the same place. So that's Prince of Persia. I played the rogue one, and I lost against the first boss. Absolutely destroyed me, and I was like, okay, I just want to. And it put me back, and I was like, oh, I just want to, I just turned it off because I was like, I'm really frustrated, and I want to take my frustration out on fighting that boss over and over again, and it's not allowing me to do that. And I was like, I'm just turning it off because I can't be bothered to go through.
Yeah, as dads who have got kids, I mean, my kids are older than yours, so it's not quite so bad for me. But you've got young kids, you ain't got time to be, trying something 30 times. You want to shoot something in the face or punch something to death or whatever, and then maybe try it once again.
Yeah, well, it's not I don't mind trying something I've done over and over. If I'm failing, I don't mind trying over and over again but it's the stuff that I've done already.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, I've got to do that.
Have you played Super Meat Boy?
I haven't, no, but I'm looking forward to the new game.
Oh, yeah. There's a 3D
one coming out on Game Pass, isn't it? I think. Well, I don't know if it's out on Game Pass, but it was on their showcase.
Yeah, there's a Super Meat Boy 3D, I think. But yeah, Super Meat Boy, really tough 2D platformer. So hence why the new one's going to be 3D. But literally, you die, and that's it. You're starting again. And as soon as you die, the second you appear, and there was Super Meat Boy Forever, there was checkpoints as well, because it was bigger levels. And yeah, that was fantastic. I don't mind that difficulty, because you know what? I can pick that up, I can play for 30 seconds, and I've probably already done a level, or at least tried a level 6 or 7 times. Whereas something where I've sat down, I'm like, okay, I'll try and get to the boss. okay, I've spent 5 minutes getting to the boss. Excellent. Try the boss. The boss destroys me. Oh, I've got to do that whole 5
Yeah.
minutes again. Okay, then, excellent. Oh, maybe I'll be able to. Oh, no, they destroyed me again. Or you accidentally get killed by a creature, after 4 minutes. And they're like, no, I'm going to do that again. I don't want to do it 20 times. I want to, maybe twice, or at the very least have sparing checkpoints at the very least. It doesn't have to be checkpoint every 5 seconds. But yeah, give us some more checkpoints.
I mean, that's what I really liked about the Limbo and Inside game, because they're difficult, but you die or you fail or something at trying to work something out.
And it was just go 30 seconds.
You pretty much just go back to the same bit that you're trying to figure out, or your bit the enemy that killed you, and you not like 5 minutes prior to that point, and you got to go over and do all that stressful stuff again. So, I end up playing those games longer because I just get more into it, and I don't like, even if it takes me about 10 times to do a certain thing, I don't mind, because I'm like, okay, I'll have another go. It's like I said, it's the doing the stuff that I've already done again. That is.
Yeah, see, even your Dark Souls games and your Elden Rings and all that, they have the campfires, and yes, that means other enemies reappear and stuff. But you can go there and save whenever you want. So technically, you could go, all right, I'll play for 5 minutes. Okay, if you got a big boss that takes 10 minutes to defeat, and you've got to try it. But generally, it's got places that it allows you to save or whatever at regular intervals. And if you're finding a particular boss difficult, and there's you can go, oh, there's a boss there, I don't want to go near them, I will find a bonfire, or however it says in Elden Ring. I don't know. I can't remember. Is it bonfires in Elden Ring?
I can't remember. Yeah, I think so. I think it's...
So just go and find a bonfire, save, then go and take on the boss. But cutscenes. Have it as an accessibility thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe with Silksong, they should, on their accessibility, you should have either the game as it is, or the option where
screen means that's a checkpoint. Every screen is a checkpoint.
Because there will be people who do like how it is, and they like going over it again. But I would like it if there was an option where it's like, okay, we'll have, if there's a on accessibility, you have a version of the game where it has more save points in it, so you don't have to.
Because you're on your phone, it sounded like you said have a version of the game. Like, it's not being a virgin, is it? But the actual gameplay of Silksong, it works.
Yeah.
It plays really well. The jumping feels good. The attacking enemies feels good. There was some of it where I was like holding down to attack, and it was attacked diagonally. That I didn't like. But generally, it plays all right. I just can't be bothered to replay the same bit over 20 or 30 times, and I haven't got time to do that. So, sorry, Silksong. I don't think you're very good in that respect.
You should make a dad accessibility.
Exactly.
Option.
It should be. Do you have children that you have to occupy a lot of the time? Yes, I do. But no, it's this one. There are games out there. Oh, I love. People say, "Oh, I love that because it's really difficult." But they do have. What was it I was playing recently that did have a? One thing I was saying to you, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, about Dragon Age, and I found the easiest level too easy. So, but they've got, in the accessibility and the difficulty, they've got every last little aspect of the gameplay that you can change. You can change their health, like enemies' health. You can change enemies' attack. You can change your attack, your health. You can change how much, how much income, pickups there are, and all this kind of thing. So you can customize it to your heart's content. And there are loads of games like that, which I like them because I can go, right, there's a story. I'm going to make this really easy so I can enjoy the story, play the game, all good. But something like Silksong or Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, well, Silksong has got a story, but Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, blah, blah, it's a mouthful every time I say it. For that one, it doesn't matter about the difficulty because you are literally doing the same thing over and over again. But you're just getting that bit further because you're unlocking it. So the accessibility is the fact that even though you die, you're still getting income to improve your character. I really like it. So there you go. So is Silksong the only thing you've been playing this week? I've seen with time.
It has been. I might try that Deep Star game out there. You have
Deep Rock Galactic. It's available on Game Pass, but it's also apparently it's won awards on Steam Deck for being really good. So it's on PC.
Is it multiplayer like the previous one?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, I think it might be able to be. I will have a quick look. But on Game Pass at the moment, because you've got kids, if you've got kids that do want to have a game and they want to play GTA, then on Game Pass is a game actually I've owned for I think over a year. Is Wobbly Life. Now it is referred to on lots of news things as a GTA for kids, and that's pretty accurate, really. It's you have like a jelly character. It's not jelly like Human Fall Flat, but still sort of slightly wobbly, slightly jellified character who you can dress up, and there's lots of skins and all this kind of thing. But it's an open world, very colourful, very basic but colourful, where you can jump in vehicles, you can go in various buildings. Now, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is not multiplayer; it is single player only. So
okay.
So Wobbly Life, you can get jobs, so you can make pizzas, you can go mining. There's loads of things to do. It was released quite a few years ago, but the developers have added a lot of things to it since it first came out. It came out in 2020, so it's 5 years old already. They just kept adding things to it and you can get hats and outfits and, as I said, making money. And it's just an absolutely fantastic little game for kids. And it is also multiplayer. Although I remember trying to play it with multiplayer with my son and my niece, who are the same age. And playing together was the frame rate and stuff wasn't great. So it wasn't particularly great on Xbox Series X. But that was the last time I played it multiplayer was probably a couple of months after I bought it. So maybe around a year ago. I'd highly recommend anybody with kids to play it, especially if they're like, oh, I want to play GTA, and you're like, nope. I'm afraid male rape is not something that is probably suitable for you, and violence and whatnot. So it is just 100% suitable for children. And I highly recommend it. It's a really good game. Enjoy. So how old's your oldest?
She is 7.
There you go.
Just 7.
Might be one that she might enjoy. But there we go. I thought all yours were like under 5, but that's good.
Yeah, 7 as of this month, and then I got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. The other 2 are quite young. But, yeah.
Okay. Well, in some other news, I couldn't talk about this last week because we had the interview, but have you seen that there was a teaser for the Super Mario movie 2?
No, I didn't.
Ah,
So this is
oh.
new to me. I quite like the one that came out a couple of years ago.
I thought it was really good. I ended up seeing it at the movies with my son at the theatre. And yeah, I thought it was great. It's not something that's going to win Oscars, and probably in 30 years' time they'll be like, yeah, that one's all right. But
Yeah.
it is not called Super Mario Brothers Movie 2. It has a name related to Mario.
Ooh.
So what do you think it's called?
It's related to Mario.
Yeah, so if it was, let's say this, if it was the Super Mario Brothers World movie, what do you think the sequel would be?
Mario Brothers World.
If the first one was the world, because it's the sequel.
Oh, Galaxy.
The
The
Super
universe.
Mario Galaxy movie. Yes.
There you go.
So it's I don't know when it's meant to be coming out. I think it's middle of next year. So it's probably like a summer movie next year. But yeah, so fantastic. I think hopefully if it's written by the same people and has the same characters, I think it'll be quite good. I'm just looking it up. Yes, it is the same person who wrote the first one. He also wrote Lego Movie 2 and Minions: The Rise of Gru. So not too bad. Not too bad a history.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just looking up. April 3rd, 2026. It's due to be out. So yeah, you've got what's that? 6 months. 6 months time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. There is a trailer available, but it is just a teaser trailer, so there's not really much in it. And to be honest, it's been about 2 weeks since I saw it the day after it came out, so it's been a while since I've seen it. So I can't tell you what's in it. You'll have to look it up yourself. So what else has been in news? Borderlands 4 has been released. Now, none of us have got it. I'm still going through Borderlands 3, to be honest, which apparently Borderlands 4 has got very good reviews, but there has been problems with performance on PC, which apparently even people with top CPUs and RTX 5090s are having stuttering and frame rate issues. And unfortunately, Randy Pitchford, rather than coming out and going, oh, yeah, sorry about that. Well, you can turn it down a bit until we optimize it a bit more, has come out and gone, well, it's fine. It's basically, it's basically the game is the game. If you don't want it, if you don't like it, get a refund. There you go. He literally said, I would not put a Ferrari engine in a monster truck and expect it to drive like a Ferrari. There you go. So, yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Although he did apologise to PS5 Pro users. Say somebody put, I'm having bad performance issues on PS5 Pro. Where can I get a more powerful PS5 from? And he's put no issue of there's a performance dropping on PS5 Pro after several hours of continuous play. So he said quit game and restart is a workaround. Sorry. So a bit of a mix of sort of here's a workaround. So there are issues, but the reviews have been very good. It's in the 80s on Metacritic, and not too bad. I can't wait to get it when it's massively reduced in about a year's time, or hopefully on Game Pass. But yeah, I do like the Borderlands games, and this apparently it has a proper open world, whereas Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3 They have very large open sections, but they are open sections. Whereas this one is one big open world, apparently. So, yeah, not too bad. Right, next one. There has been a bit of a backlash, apparently. Super Mario, actually, probably should have talked about this after Super Mario Galaxy movie. But Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 are coming to Nintendo Switch. And it's been a little bit of moaning because the prices. Now, I've got the prices in the UK, and I told you not to look them up. So you can buy each game separately, or you can buy them as a 2-game bundle. How much do you think they are, and how much would you pay for individual or both games?
Okay.
How much do you think they are first?
So as a bundle, so Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2.
And 2, yeah.
I'm going to say £100
£100. Okay.
for that because you got 2 games.
So then do you think individually they'd probably be what, £55-60, or maybe so?
I think individually, I think Super Mario Galaxy 2 will be more. I think that'll be like 70.
Okay.
60, £70.
Okay.
How much was
pay?
I mean, I don't really pay because I got Game Pass. I don't really ever pay for game. But
I don't
if
really pay for games. I just pirate everything. Hey, Nintendo.
If I was, I don't know. I would for the bundle. I would be happy to say like £70 to get 2 games out of that.
Okay, well, you'll be glad
individually, but
these
maybe 50 for the count too.
You have overestimated.
Oh.
They are £35 each, or £59 for the bundle.
Why is people moaning about that?
Yeah, you think that's there's been backlash about the price.
I can understand why someone would moan about the original Galaxy being, but I don't know why you would moan about paying £35 for Galaxy 2.
Now, do you say that because it's a very good game and a big game?
Yeah, but it's not. It's a brand new game, isn't it? Super Mario Galaxy 2.
No, is it? No.
Oh, I'm thinking of Odyssey.
Oh, you're thinking of Odyssey. Oh,
all that stuff we just talked about. Yeah, it's gone out the window. So I thought that they were literally bringing out Odyssey, the new Odyssey with the old Odyssey. That's why I was okay.
Super Mario Galaxy came out in 2010.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I can see why people were upset by that. I probably would pay about £20, £40 for both, £20 individually. Yeah, so, not 35 and 70. But
yeah, so these are 2007 and 2010 Super Mario Galaxy games, and
they're almost 20 years old.
That's for the digital versions as well. I believe. Hang on. Just trying to look up. You can get physical. Although physical is the same price as well, has both of them. So that they, both games in one, and £59 for both. Now, there's been a bit of a backlash to the backlash by some people in, like journalistic sense. Because people say they're an absolute perfect game, so why wouldn't you pay for this much? You don't have to. You could get it elsewhere, kind of thing. This isn't a one where they've completely remade it, or they've basically done nothing to it.
So it's a bit like what they did with All Stars. They just ported the games over, didn't they? Made them playable.
Now, whether they're done by emulation or whether they actually run on the hardware, I don't know. That's for technical people and whatnot. But this is something that they could have put on there. And okay, you're making money out of a game, but you're making money out of a game that's been out for 18 years and 15 years. So you haven't got costs to cover. So even if you did, if this was a game that was £60 15 years ago, then your costs of, I mean, for a start, physical costs of, and all this kind of thing. People say, yes, you've got servers to keep the digital things on, files and whatnot. But just £35 is a lot, I think, and £59.
Yeah. When you could probably get a Nintendo Wii with both Galaxy games for around £30, £40 in the UK. So I'm just now very conscious that people are going to be listening to this podcast, and my initial answer, they'll be like, "What? He would pay £100 for Galaxy 1 and 2?"
Yes,
and hopefully they would have listened on and realised I had made a grave mistake in my.
I'm not editing all that out. No, you did think that it was a brand new game.
Yeah, I thought it was Odyssey coming out with Odyssey 2, and then when you said about the price, I was thinking like that's really cheap for like Nintendo, considering how much Mario Kart World was. But then when you said that it was my then it clicked. I was like, oh, actually, yeah, you're talking about a game that's almost 20 years old. So, but yeah, it is. But then All Stars was expensive, but they did bring out. There was like multiple games in that one, didn't they? Because it was Mario 64, Sunshine. Did they have the Galaxies on that? They might. I think they had the Galaxies on that, didn't they? But yeah, I mean, if they remastered it, I could understand. Like people would be, you could charge a bit more because you're getting those games with the updated sort of hardware. But yeah, if they're just porting it over, then it is taking advantage of their fans. But
apparently, there has been an update, a free update on Nintendo Switch 2. Will allow the games to be played with Joy-Con mouse controls. Ugh.
Well, they were Wii games originally, weren't they? So the controls will be. I don't know how they'll be
similar to that. Yeah. Super Mario. Yeah, the games will run at 1080p in docked mode. So there have been certain things with like high resolution textures. The user interface has been updated, that kind of thing. But it's not the costs of making a game. Yeah. And yes, okay, it's not the price of a full game, but I just, like you said, I'm not saying give them away for a $5, but £20, I think £40. Yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head after your original faux pas.
£100.
You hit the nail on the head, I think, with £20 and £40. Yeah. So that'd be $26,
or maybe like £25 or £40 together, and then you're making a bit of a saving if you buy them both. But yeah, better than the £100 and £70.
Don't worry, I'll put in the description something about sort of make sure you listen to the rest of Martin's realization. Maybe I'll just put in the description after Martin says the price, turn off and never listen again.
Yeah, maybe to do a clickbait like you will not believe Martin's opinion.
Listen to the end to see what he really thinks. Anyway,
£100, a good price.
There isn't a Super Mario Odyssey 2, is there? They haven't actually announced anything.
That's why I just thought maybe you'd. I just missed the news.
There is a Mario game coming to Switch 2. They have, I think all there's been is rumours and a sort of tease of that there is going to be something Mario. So maybe there'll be a Mario Odyssey 2. Maybe it will be a completely new thing. Maybe it would just be a remaster or something.
If they do an Odyssey 2 and they bring it out with an Odyssey and it's £100, then I'll just look like I read the future in this episode.
You heard it here first, everybody. Yeah. There's going to be £100 bundle with both Super Mario Galaxy No, Super Mario Odyssey and Super Mario Odyssey 2.
Or you can just get Odyssey 2 on its own for £70. So
Yeah, there you go. Oh, blimey. So you're saying £30 for a Super Mario Odyssey? Jeez.
yeah.
That'll be a backlash as well. Again, great game. But is it worth £30 nowadays?
we're talking about something that hasn't happened yet. But haven't it?
Well, that's one way to get people to listen. Yeah, clickbait.
Nintendo unannounced Nintendo update.
Just
Exclusive.
imagine if we got a cease and desist from Nintendo. Could you stop telling everybody what's happening in the future, please?
They're like, oh, we're about to announce that, and now they're bloody
Ruined it.
come in and said it's not worth it. We're going to have a backlash.
Anyway, so that is coming out. That is coming out soon, though. So it's coming out October the 2nd. So
very good game, Galaxy.
If you've never
Galaxy
played the games before, I mean, kind of thing. Yeah, just get a Wii or a Wii U and play them on there. Yeah, they're great. They're great games, and yeah, there's so many great games on the Wii. Why not? Why not get one of them? I mean, we've been chatting for 46 minutes. We were also going to talk about video games, and again, I talked about a Mario movie, and then talked about something else, and then we're back to Mario, and now we've got to go back to movies.
The structuring of this show.
I know, it's so good. I've even got a list in front of me, and I think I've just picked and chosen kind of thing.
And we're going to come back at the end, talk about roguelike games.
And then prices of games. We structure everything so well. But so terrible movies from video games. Because we've talked about the fact there's some good ones coming out. We have actually talked about terrible ones like the original Super Mario Bros. Ones. But then I was mentioning to you that there was a sort of famous guy, Uwe Boll, his name is. He's a reasonably well-known director, German director. But there's a reason why he's famous, is because his movies are awful. We're talking worst movies of all time kind of thing. But the list of the games that he's transferred to the big screen goes from Far Cry to In the Name of the King, which is Dungeon Siege, Alone in the Dark, Blood Rain, and Postal, and House of the Dead. Now, this isn't some recorded in these movies aren't recorded in some warehouse in Germany kind of thing. We're talking Christian Slater. What's the name from Michelle Rodriguez? Jason Statham. Burt Reynolds, Ray Liotta, and these terrible movies, absolutely terrible movies, have got like big budgets, and somehow the Dungeon Siege one, In the Name of the King, has had 3 movies made.
Got a trilogy.
And Blood Rain as well has had 3 films. And then Alone in the Dark that he's done has had 2. So, I don't know how he must have somehow self-funded these, because would you, after seeing the scores of some of these movies, would you dare to give him money? I mean, he was getting the licenses to do these films. So, but either he's paying himself or he's actually getting. Has he got some sort of like a cult following where people just watch it because they're like? That's the thing. I think he's made some terrible movies, and then what's happened is somebody has gone, well, I've got a couple of million, I can throw this. And then because he's so awful, people actually seem to be watching them because they're video games. Now, I think the modern good movies have probably killed his movies off, because now the video game fans will go, oh, but there are good movies now.
Yeah,
So
and we're on a good run of video game movies at the moment. Like the Mario one's good, the Sonic ones are good.
Mortal
You've
Kombat.
got the Mortal Kombat, the new Mortal Kombat's good, and then you got the TV shows like The Last of Us, which is critically acclaimed, and The Witches. But well, yeah, there was when I guess he was the beneficiary of having Street Fighter coming out and the Mortal Kombats of the 90s and the Mario, the original Mario game film of the 80s, where it was just bad film after bad film after bad film, and then his film
Yeah.
probably just looked normal to them. But
Well, funnily enough, as well, video game, because he does a lot of video game films, he has actually got a trilogy of films called Rampage, which, for those that don't know, Rampage was a game that was in arcades and on very like 8-bit consoles and whatnot, and you had buildings and you had giant
smash them up,
like gorillas or dragons,
Godzilla-like. Yeah,
they called Ganji, something like that. Anyway, those that would climb up the side, and you'd have to punch parts of the building until it fell down. And then there was actually a movie made out of it with The Rock, but his Uwe Boll's films, Rampage, have nothing to do with those video games. They're just
called Rampage.
crappy action movies. And I say crappy because, again, they're crap. Yeah, so just I have not seen a full version one of his films. I have, however, seen some of Blood Rain, and it was bad enough that I turned it off. Just to go through some of the scores, I think his best score on IMDb is Postal, which is at the video game films, and that's got 4.5, and that's quite generous. It's got a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. House of the Dead 2.1, In the Name of the King 3.8, Blood Rain 3, and these are Far Cry 3.2, Alone in the Dark 2.4. So they're just awful films, and yeah, they're not so bad they're good. But a lot of people, that's why a lot of people have watched them, bought it, or whatever, because they're so bad. It's hilarious to watch. But,
yeah, like the Street Fighter film and the Mortal Kombat films in the 90s are like to that point where you actually get
following, haven't they?
Yeah, and you know they're bad films when you're watching them, but you'll still watch them and kind of enjoy it because it's very cheesy. A lot of it, especially the Street Fighter films with
Kylie Minogue,
Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Kylie Minogue, and the some of the catchphrases.
Raul Julia is in one of his last movies.
Yeah, it is his last film. Yeah, so it's
Such
like one of his where he's like, "Oh, for you." One of the film quotes where he's like, "For you, it was the most difficult or memorable time of your life. For me, it was a Thursday or something like that." And then there was one where he's like, "Oh, you came to fight an evil dictator, but you're here fighting a god." And it's like just corny line after corny line. But yeah.
So would you say somebody who's like 18 years old right now, would you say go watch Street Fighter from the 90s?
If you're a Street Fighter fan.
Only if you're a Street Fighter fan.
Only if you're a Street Fighter fan from the games, and I quite like them because I did like the. I mean, I don't really play Street Fighter anymore, but I did play like the one on the Sega Mega Drive quite a lot. So seeing like Saga and Ghoulie and Bison or whatever on the big screen was quite, because they all had all the characters, so they weren't very represented.
There is
that
a
well,
new Street Fighter movie coming out. It's meant to be coming out next year, I believe. It's got Jason Momoa as Blanca.
Okay.
So just to clarify, Blanca is the green one.
Green one, yeah.
M. Bison. Now, the guys down for M. Bison is, do you know in Ant-Man, he's the guys who work with him. The security ones.
I have watched Ant-Man, but I haven't watched it for a while. So
Well, you know the one that's sort of talks like a Russian kind of one that helps him. Yeah,
I think so. Is he?
in the security? He's M. Bison. Now, I don't know if you have watched the latest series of Reacher.
No,
Have you watched
no.
that? No.
I've never watched Reach. No.
He is. There's a guy in it who plays. Oh, what's the name of the guy? Paulie, in the most recent one, and he's in Borderlands as Crom. But anyway, he's 7'2", and yeah, has got muscles almost as wide as, well, probably bigger than my head. So he's a big guy. He is playing Zangief.
Yeah, I was going to guess Zangief based on that.
50 Cent as Balrog.
Oh no, I did know. I did see something. Now you're telling me this. I did see something on Facebook about the new Street Fighter because
it's obviously got a big budget kind of thing. Getting Jason Momoa, the director of it, can't. He's apparently directed the Twisted Metal TV series.
I've seen it.
No, well, it went straight to, I think it was Paramount Plus. Got it done. So yeah, looks like his biggest movie is one called Bad Trip from 2021 with Eric Andre and somebody else. Like cheesy comedy, road trip comedy. In terms of the writer, but yeah, will it be that good? I don't think so. Oh, apparently the writer of Captain America Brave New World is writing it. Great. Because that was a brilliant film. Oh dear. Anyway. So yeah, Street Fighter from the 90s. You wouldn't recommend somebody unless they were a big fan, yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it just for the sake of watching a good film because it's not. But if you like Street Fighter, then there will be some bits in there where you're like, yeah, you get to see your favorite game characters come to real life as Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie Minogue.
It's the same guy who wrote Commando, as in Arnie's film, Die Hard, 48 Hours, and yeah, quite a lot of other things. So he's written some great things and written some terrible things. He wrote the screenplay for the Stallone Judge Dredd and Beverly Hills Cop 3 and the Flintstones. So he's done some pretty poor films. But he did Die Hard, which is like my favorite film of all time. So
what, the original Die Hard?
Yeah, the original Die Hard, 1988, and Die Hard 2. He wrote the screenplay as well. He wrote the Running Man screenplay. Obviously, which Running Man was Arnie. Not an Arnie, Stephen King book. Anyway, we've been nattering for an hour now, so I think we can probably.
Yeah, I think
wrap this up after we've. Then we can go off and watch some Uwe Boll movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing now.
I need something to sleep.
I'm probably not going to sleep now and just watch.
We did look up earlier, and a lot of them are on Prime in the UK.
I know, yeah. The only streaming service I don't have is Prime, pretty much.
Yeah, so if you have Prime in the UK, and possibly other countries, just type in Uwe Boll, which is UWEBOLL. And if you can sit through all of them, hey, well done you. Send us your opinions on Facebook. And yeah, other than that, find all our episodes on Focus ongaming.co.uk. And yeah, listen to last week's interview with Grant Sinclair, or our episode a couple of weeks ago when me and you just napped about games.
Yeah.
We actually talked about games. Woohoo! Right. Lovely to have an episode with you, Martin. And I called you Martin this time, not Tom.
Yeah. So,
always a good start. So
yeah.
On that note,
improvement. On that note, bye.